Good morning, class. We're going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 5, user defined methods. Now, let us first understand what is a method means and how what is the use of the method, why do we need this method. Now, method, if you have to understand, is it is a kind of a function, procedure, or module. We say it. Okay. Now we know that the program. What do you mean by program? Program is a set of instruction, and these instructions are in the form of methods in the program. Now there are two ways of creating a method, that is user system defined method and user defined method. What is a system defined method? System defined methods are this kind of methods are already present in the Java library. They are built in methods, like we have function, like we use mat.square, mat.round, and we use so many mathematical functions. They are already present in the library, and we are just fetching it from the library methods to the program. And user defined methods are what we are creating with our appropriate names, that we create a method. So we will see in the coming up examples. So what does the user defined mean? User defined means the user is creating a method. And what is a system defined? Which is already present in the system, or which is already present in the library method. We are just taking it from the library method and using it in the program. That is called as method. Now method, to define the method properly, we can see here the definition. You can say that the methods are known as functions, procedure, modules, subroutines, and the subprograms. They are called as methods. Now, use of the method. Why do we need this method? What do you think that method is required? Now, anything that you do, you need a particular method. Now, suppose for an example, suppose you wanted to dig a hole. What do you need? You need a particular procedure. You need a particular steps. You decide like what to do with what you have to do, that you can dig a whole. So like that, to create a program, we first decide what method can we use. Suppose you wanted to find a square root, so you need to know what do you need for finding a square root. First you need a number, and that particular number you wanted to find a square root, then you will be using a formula. So that is how we try to find it out, the method, how to solve a particular question. So that is the reason why we use a method mainly. And now there are different uses that we have it here. That method, why do we need a method? Method can be used to rewrite the same coding. Okay, we can rewrite the same coding. Next is a complex program, in the sense a big programs can be divided into small block using a method, and which is easier to understand. Next is, it will show you what is the flow of the program, what has to be done first, then second, then third. That shows the flow of the program. Next, it also improves the readability of the code. Readability of the code in the sense, now suppose you are writing a program, it also helps you to read the code properly. Okay, next, last is the debugging of the code is easier. Debugging in the sense, suppose if there is any error that is there, it can easily be found. It can easily find it out what is that error in the program. And that is about, these are the uses. Okay, so these are the advantages of the method. Sometimes they ask you what is method, what are the uses of the method. Please write it down in your notebook. Now next is your method definition. This is a syntax. If you see, this is a syntax. This complete thing is a syntax. That is, you have access modifier, type, method name, parameter list, opening bracket, method body, closing bracket, and here there is a semicolon. So let us see this one and you see this example. Okay, then you will understand what is this access modifier. Now access modifier, if you see, public. Okay, public is called as access modifier. What kind of type you have? You have got void type, because we are not returning any value. What is the method name? Method name is hello message. Okay, now in this we don't have any parameter list. Suppose you are giving any parameter list, like if you are giving int a, int b, using a data type, any variable name if we give here within the bracket, they are considered as what? Parameter list. Now opening bracket, okay, this opening and closing is important in method because every method will have a opening and closing. If there is a opening here, it should be the closing. So what exactly we are displaying here is just a hello message, okay, we are just displaying a hello message. So this part, above part is called as method prototype and the below part is called as method body. Okay, a description is given here. You can see what is a description. Method prototype, what do you mean by method prototype? The method prototype, it always begins with the access modifier. What is this access modifier? Access modifiers are public, private or protected. You can either use public, you can use private or protected. Now public means, suppose you are using the access specifier as public, that's when you can access that particular method anywhere in the class. Okay, we can access anywhere all throughout the class. That is why we give it as public. If you are giving private, it can be accessed only within that part. You cannot access that particular method apart from that particular class. Okay, so protected is a combination of both public and private. This is about the method access modifier. Next is your type of data. Now type of data, in this example we have seen that the type of data is given as void. Void means it is a null character which does not hold any values. So it is considered as a null character. The other thing is we are giving a method name. In the example, the method name is given as hello message. Now you can give any name, that is user's choice, but it should be a meaningful one. Suppose the program is based on simple interest, that's mean your method name should be related to your program, so it must be simple interest. If you're finding a square root, then it should be given as square root. Method name should be given as square root in place of hello message. So that one also is one of the rule. Next one is parameter list. Parameter list can be multiple. Okay, it is not that you have to give only one. You can give multiple parameter list by giving a comma within the bracket. Like if you wanted to give here, if you wanted to give a multiple list, suppose I wanted to give 3 parameter list, that is in a b c, so int a comma int b comma int c comma, like that you can give 4 different types of parameter list, and it should be closed within the simple brackets. That is about the next rule. The other one is within this bracket, okay, within this parenthesis, that you can see opening and the closing parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, whatever we are writing, that shows exactly what is happening. That this is a method that is showing you that what is happening here. Okay, now suppose if you are writing here calculate simple interest, if you are writing here calculate simple interest, that means within this parenthesis, okay, inside this, whatever we are doing, we are going to calculate dealing with the simple interest. Okay, so it shows, okay, this name of the method shows exactly what is happening within this method. Okay, so next is your method signature. What do you mean by method signature? Method signature is the method name along with the list of parameter used. Method name. Now what is the name of the method here? That is hello message. Okay, so and if you have any list of parameters here, then it is called as method signature. Okay, this complete thing is called as method prototype. And what is the method signature? Name of the method and the parameter list that you give within this bracket, that is called as method signature. Please don't get confused. What is a method prototype and what is a method signature? Please write down these definitions also. What is a method prototype and what is a method signature? Here the example description is already given here. You can see here the method prototype. This complete line is called as method prototype. What is a method signature? The name of the method. Okay, whatever you write just before this bracket, whatever you are writing it, it is called as method name. And inside this, if you write, then it is called as parameter list. So within, if you have a parameter list here within this bracket, that will also be considered as a method signature. And next is your access modifier. Access modifier here usually we are writing it as public because you can be accessed anywhere all throughout the program. Next is your void return. Return means you don't want anything has to be written. Okay, so if you are not returning any value, then you can just write here void. And if you wanted to return any value, then you have to use here, suppose you are writing double, then you are returning double value. Okay, if you are writing here int, if you're writing here int, then you are returning integer value. So if you don't want to return any value, since we are not doing any calculations here, we don't want to return anything, so we are writing it here as void. Okay, so when you do this, it will return, it will just give you a null value. And the parameter list is empty here, the parameter list is empty, so that's mean you don't want to pass any value to it. Okay, so this is about the method. So we have learned today what is a method. Okay, method are the kinds of functions, procedures, modules, and sub programs. There are two types of method, that is system defined method and user defined method. And what are the advantages? These are the advantages. What is the syntax? These are the syntax. Okay, so please, these are the syntax, and this is a example down you can see here. And then you can see the description given here. I think so I am pretty clear to make you understand what are these examples mean. You can see the highlighter that is given, you can just go through that and find it out related to the example. Okay, and please write it down, the differentials between method signature. The definition is here, please copy it down, method signature, and what is a method prototype. So I think so you have understood what does it mean. So please note it down all these things in your notebook.